Hey guys, you know what it is when it's that You Heard podcast, man. My guys had to take the day off, man. We got to figure out what the vacation time is with this thing right here, man. People taking too much time off. This is getting ridiculous, man. Hey man, appreciate everybody who likes, comments, subscribes, leaves us reviews. We appreciate all that engagement, man. 958 subscribers, man, on YouTube. Every day, more and more people listening. Remember, we're available everywhere you get your podcast. Obviously on YouTube if you're watching me right now. And guess what, man? This is the last time you're gonna see this right here. This is the last time you're gonna see the bushy top, man. That's it. It's good time to go.
Welcome to the You Heard podcast with your hosts, Ben and Joe. We're here to cover everything related to Miami Hurricanes football, including hot topics to pre and post game analysis.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end. We'll talk about it at the end.
No. Let's talk about that right now because you completely flipped it on me now. Yeah, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying
what are we talking about, son?
I felt
keeping it a buck. You heard?
So I sat down and thought long and hard. What am I going to talk about today by myself? When there's nobody to bounce ideas off of, get feedback. And my boy Joe asked a question on Twitter. Paraphrasing it, basically is what's the expectation of the commits coming in and the criticism of their weight already, right? These are 16, 17-year-old kids, young men. I mean, if they're preteens, I feel like you can call them kids, right? If they're not old enough to vote. Shout out to Wholesome, man. I'm sorry if I was wrong on that understanding. But these players, these recruits are still having their bodies developed, still learning how to eat, working out, haven't gone through their senior season yet. And the reactions to, oh, but he's only this weight, fill in the blank for name the recruiter commit. And what I'm having a tough time understanding when I sat with it, I was like, I wonder why that is, right? Like Joe does the analysis as far as football and thoughts like that, and we bounce ideas off each other. CB, same thing. I come with a little bit different perspective. They both play football. I didn't. I'm saying y'all know the story. Just didn't. I wasn't mature enough to understand that I could have played football. You know what I'm saying? Coaches wanted me or whatever. But just didn't have the mentality. Got kicked out of high school. You know what I'm saying? Went to the Army, the whole thing. But I think the reason is, man, we're starving as a fan base, right? Like, we want every freshman to come in and just ball out and dominate and just be back to what we were growing up, right? Because most of the fans, most of the people who check out the show are roughly in our age group. You know what I mean? We remember 2001, the heartbreak of 2002, and we just want that instantaneous. We want this shit to happen now. But it's not like that, man. We were 20 years of mediocrity. We broke down the statistics, right? 54% game winning percentage out of all the years, barely over 50%. We had 110 win season. Y'all know the stats, man. I don't gotta, you know what I'm saying, regurgitate that back to y'all. Y'all see the same shit I see. But it's hard to preach patience when you've had 20 years of that. When you've had 20 years of missed tackles, 20 years of, oh my God, we lost by a field goal again. Oh, one game rolls into another one. All that constantly. So that frustration is put onto these young players, and that pressure is put onto them as if they're somehow responsible for your misery, for our pain. It doesn't work like that. They have nothing to do with it. They don't know what it is to see Miami win. None of them. No player coming in right now, unless they saw 2017 and watched them, right, has seen this team be anything near relevant. Now, you could talk about the other fan bases, they still comment, do all that stuff about us. That's their business. Don't care about it. This is a Miami podcast. This is all we focus on. Y'all see it in the background. So I think it comes from a place of not psychoanalyzing anything. I'm not a fucking therapist. But we just want to win. And the moment these players stumble, the moment these players come in and they have a missed tackle, you're ready to just write them off. Fam, there's got to be development. The young men that came in January are likely going to get a lot of burn. Why? Because they're more talented than the guys above them, and that's just what it is. But they're still freshmen. That doesn't mean they're going to come in and everybody's going to ball out. Everybody's going to be successful. Magawa is going to start and not have a missed assignment and not give up a sack. That might happen, but when he does, don't criticize him. He's learning. He's learning on the job in front of all of us. A fan base that's rabid, that's looking for something to criticize, and criticizing 18-year-olds on the strength of like if there were Hall of Famers. I don't understand that perspective. I don't understand it, but I get it. Right? If I'm being honest, I understand why we just want to win. We're starving. We 5 national championships. Y'all see the banners. Y'all know what it is. Greatest football team ever. We saw that. We got to experience that, and we compare everything else after that. Why don't we have 8 running backs that are going to be future NFL players right now? Why? Because we did terrible job of recruiting, terrible job of keeping relationships and establishing, connections with good programs and having to mend those relationships and all that. All that stuff has happened, man. That's all that stuff. All that stuff has also been happening over the past 20 years. That's stuff we got to think about. We got to take that into context. It's not just we got to win now. Oh, he's coming in 165. Oh, he ain't gonna be no good. Yo, y'all remember? Of course. I mean, you watching this, you very likely do. Zion Nelson came in 260 pounds. That's a starting left tackle. 260 pounds. Started from day one. So you're telling me a 260-pound left tackle that was only other recruited by App State is going to come in and dominate? Don't you think he would have been better off taking a year, getting his body right, learning what it took if that staff knew what they were doing? If those people behind the scenes knew what they were doing instead of trying to throw on 60 pounds on him in a heartbeat? Y'all understand what that did to his joints? That's what it's about development, man. You're not going to be a finished product day one of your freshman year in game one. You're not. You're going to be better in game six. You're going to be better in game eight. Hopefully, no crazy injuries and everybody's healthy and the coaching catches and everything, because everything we hear, the coaching is different, right? Y'all hearing what we hearing? The coaching is different. There's better energy. Some of it is coach speak. Some of it is, you know what I mean, like media, you know what I'm saying, patchwork, because last year was so fucking terrible. But it takes time, man. It takes time. And it's hard. Look, I get it. Yo, y'all, I suffer with y'all. Like, I'm not preaching as if I know better. I'm gonna still be mad when it happens. As of right now, I can have more of a clear conscience because I'm not seeing the missed tackle. I'm not seeing the missed assignment. I'm not seeing the blown play. In those moments, I'm not gonna be live streaming. Y'all not gonna be seeing. I'm like, man, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, that was so and so. All right, I'm gonna process a little bit different after having conversations with people who played and learning that those mistakes are gonna happen, and that's okay. Those are lessons learned. Freshmen. Now, if a senior's doing it, why is he on the field? Different, you know what I mean? Like, that's a different thing. Oh, but he's a senior with a new staff. Fam, you should know how to tackle. Like, tackle doesn't matter on the staff. There's no excuse for that type of shit. You could have a misassignment because you couldn't quite read. Okay, that happens, and I'm gonna be upset if it was a game when all that shit. Yes, but those mistakes are gonna happen. I make mistakes every single day. There's nobody sitting there in the fucking stands be like, yo, man, you forgot how to tighten that screw. It doesn't happen to me. It doesn't happen to you. Nobody's knocking the fries out of your hand. Nobody's telling you filed that paperwork incorrectly. Nobody's giving you shit because you don't know Microsoft Excel or whatever it is, man. You know what I'm saying? You filed that report wrong and your boss is getting no. That doesn't happen to you. You have one person that criticizes you. You might have that one coworker that gives you a little bit of shit, but there's not 8,000 people on your Twitter mentions saying how you fucked up, sharing memes of it and all that. That doesn't happen to you. Can't shake this cough, man. It's crazy. Look, man, it's not easy, right? I just ask that we approach it with just a little bit of patience, a little bit of thought, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of calm, and understand that if it's a freshman, they're learning. If it's a senior, be mad that they're on the field. Because I'm not gonna be out here acting like, oh, this shouldn't no mistake should happen. This is gonna be a perfect season. No, it's not gonna be a perfect season. But approaching players that aren't even on committed yet, that haven't signed anything, in a national letter of intent in December or in February, to approach it as if they got to be a finished product when they come in. They won. That's not realistic, fam. What like? Let's be real. And yes, I'm not preaching to the entirety of the fan base or preaching at all. I'm just saying, understand that the hardest fucking thing. It's gonna take a little longer, man. We'll see. We don't do predictions. That's not who we are as a podcast. That's not who I am, because then I just look stupid and then it looks like it's just not. I have no idea what this team is going to be. I have no idea. I have no idea who's going to be good. I have no idea who's going to be dominant. I have no idea how to like. I could give you all this shit. It's just opinions and thoughts. I have hope. I have a little bit of hope because the little bit of fire that burns there's just like this team is my number one team. This team is everything to me. I watch many other sports, but when this team loses, I'm inconsolable. I'm hurting. I don't want to talk to nobody. Leave me the fuck alone. I just want nothing to do with nothing. And it got to a point that I was just like that, man. I was like, man, this whole fucking team, what is happening? What is this team gonna be? And it didn't change into, what I'm saying, outwardly hope with Mario. It changed when I was like, oh shit, we got this guy and that guy. All right. And then now starting the podcast and learning more about recruiting and commits and some of the behind the scenes stuff and how it all works and learning how the sausage is made. We don't do y'all know what it is, man. We're not insiders. I'm not gonna tell you, yo, this guy's gonna commit, this guy's gonna go there. Do we know some things? Yes. But that's not who we are as a podcast. We want to be the voice for y'all. When they're hurt, when they fuck up, we want to talk about it. Yo, but we're not gonna approach you like, yo, that guy's trash and that's it. He can never play here again. Well, look, man, this was what you needed to do, and we'll approach it that way. A more cooler head. That's why if we recorded the day of the podcast, the day of the game, might be a different reaction. That's why we always take the day, process it, rewatch the game, and see how things worked out, man. That's just the way we're gonna approach it. I'm not saying that's how you got to approach it. I'm just saying going at commits because they're not the way you think they should be when they're 16 years old, haven't had a full, haven't had their senior season. I think I saw some crazy shit like Malik Bryant grew an inch and so did Joshua Horton since the time they were committed and now they're on campus. Like, come on, man. Malik Bryant is 100% going to end up being at the end. The guy's going to be too big. His frame is going to build out. You're going to criticize him because he's too low of a linebacker? He's going to be at the end. Might take the year. Who knows? There's gonna be time, man. You got to take a little bit. You got to take a breath. You got to figure out how it all works. You know what I'm saying? And until then, man, enjoy some Canes content, man, and be like, yo, look, there's a good chance the first 5 games we might be 4-1 and we might have a winning record. You don't know. You can't predict that shit. Did you predict last year? Were you sitting there like, oh, I knew this was going to happen? No, you didn't. None of us did. So let's just take a second. So if you can't do that, right? If you can't predict what happened last year, which wasn't a tough schedule, just a bad team and a whole bunch of crazy shit happened, you can't predict what somebody who's in high school going to project out to. It's a little harder to project a 16-year-old kid growing up and figuring out if he's going to be a Hall of Famer or not, if he's going to be an all-time great. It takes time, man. It takes patience. It takes hard work. Every single day, grinding, wanting to be better. If you're not that, you ain't going to make it. The grind don't stop, man. The work shows itself. Shamar Kirk said some dope shit that just popped into my head. He knew exactly what he was getting because he wasn't putting in the work. How many people have that mentality? How many people are like, nah, man, I need it now. You know, man, but you didn't punch in on time. Nah, man, but I need my money. Yo, but you didn't show up when you were supposed to. I needed you to be here at this time, and you weren't there. Nah, yo, but I showed up. I did my 40. Might not have been the way you wanted it, but that's the way I did it. You get what you get for the work you put in. That's a 22-year-old young man saying that. And look at the path he had to take. Y'all know, man. He had to go to. He wasn't mature enough in high school. Recognized it in hindsight. Walked away from the game. Came back. Worked as a security guard. Came back. He found his way back to football. The path isn't the same for everybody, and it's not for us to judge that path. We'll judge some shit that's on the field, but that other stuff, that conversation with Shamar Wayne was so dope in that way. It was like he knew exactly. He was like, I wasn't putting in the work, so why would I? But I didn't earn it. I was the work I was getting is the work I was getting. The work I was getting was the work I was giving. It's just that simple, man. Crazy. All right, guys, we're gonna drop that Canes ad right here.
Welcome to Caneswear.
Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has all latest merchandise for the Miami Hurricanes,
Miami Dolphins,
Inter Miami Soccer, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive just south of I-595 or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans.
All right, man. Look, first of all, Brett and Jeff, amazing work, man. You see it, man. Every day we wearing some Canes on the show. Only people we rock with. That's just how I roll. You know what I mean? Shout out to my boy Danny. You know what I'm saying? Made these shoes. They never get worn. That's where they stay. I had these two things custom made. It is what it is. That Canes wear hat that I have to wear very soon because we're reaching 1,000 subscribers really quickly. Really, really quickly. You know what I mean? Look, fans, listeners, fans of the Canes, not fans. I don't like calling y'all fans. This shit just sounds weird. Fans of the Canes, man, listeners, everybody who subscribes, man, make sure to leave a comment. If you listen to us on Spotify, you know what I'm saying, leave a 5-star review. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review and, you know what I'm saying, drop something a little something in the comments there. We read it on the show, man, and get a chance to win a $10 gift card. And every 100 subscribers that we get, so 100, 200, 300, 400, so on and so forth, we give out a $25 gift card. A special one for the 1,000th subscriber, $50 gift card to Caneswear, man. You know what I'm saying? Brett and Jeff always look out for us, man. When they did a meet and greet, nothing but great work. They got a new store opening up, a bigger store with more product. You know what I'm saying? Enter Miami, Miami Heat, everything Miami is in the store, man. So look, man, I want to make sure y'all understand this. Y'all can react however you want to react. I'm just saying, understand that development still has to happen. Leave it in the comments, man. Am I batshit crazy with what I'm talking about? Am I preaching? Am I coming off insane? Or is there some kind of sense? And you know what I'm saying? I like the back and forth. Y'all see it, man. We always go back and forth in the live chat. Shout out to M Bird, always commenting, man. Shout out to 904 Hurricane. Shout out to all the new listeners and subscribers, man. Appreciate y'all so much. Look, we're just trying to give you a different perspective, man. Something we could chop it up about. It's not easy to be a fan of this team, right? We seen the struggle, we seen the pain, we seen it. We've seen the embarrassment, we've seen the bad losses. The bad losses didn't just start happening last year. We need to stop acting brand new on that shit though. Bad losses been happening. Y'all remember 44-0? Virginia to close out the OB. We gonna act like that shit. Bad losses have been happening. We gotta stop getting accustomed to it, but it takes time, man. Recruiting is happening. Y'all saw what Mario just did in June. The visits, those visits turned to commits. We'll find out in the next couple weeks. There's a lot of 5-stars still waiting to see, and there's things that gotta happen. My forehead is so fucking shiny. Forehead so shiny. Nah, I can't sing, man. I was giving CB shit about singing. But yeah, man. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to look forward to. There's gonna be some bumps. Last year was a fucking tsunami. The way we got knocked off, man. It was crazy. It hurt. I was right there. We were right there with y'all, man. Yeah, we started the pod towards the end of the season, but I'm telling you right now, I'm glad I wasn't recording during the first couple games. That shit would have been wild. All right, man. Let's get into this Unforgettable Canes and get up out of here. Not very easy to talk to yourself. I mean, but we do it. And look, I'm not gonna say nothing to Joe. You had a great excuse. I'm not gonna say nothing to CB. But hey, don't let this shit happen again. Look at me. Look at me. Don't let this shit happen again. Hey, nah. Hey man, you know what it is, man. That's family, man. Let's get into this Unforgettable Canes and get up out of here, guys. Oh, and stay tuned for the keyword, man. I'm gonna drop it at the end of the episode. Let's go. Hey man, there was only one way I was gonna have an Unforgettable Cane. My favorite Hurricane of all time is this man right here, Willis Mcgahee, man. Number 2, my favorite number. Number 2 and 99 are my favorite numbers. I know 99 is 2 numbers, but whatever, you get it. Listen, man, this guy, you know what I'm saying, he played at my school for a little bit, and then before he transferred to Central. But let me tell you, man, Willis Mcgahee was just look at him, man. Look at him move. Look at that. Look at the stride. Look how easy he made those little cuts, those little movements, intricate movements, and you know what I'm saying, on a dime, on a yard. It was crazy. Look at that extra effort, man. When was the last time we had extra effort like that? Maybe since Duke. Look at it, man. Taking this little screen, 75 yards against Florida State. Crazy. Yeah, he got tackled at the 12, but it's all good, man. Willis Mcgahee was my guy, bro. I'm just watching this and just enjoying it, man. This is crazy. Look at him. Look at that offensive line getting the push, though. Greatest offensive line in history, man. Look at him. Look at him making those movements, man. Crazy injury, obviously, at the Ohio State game. Came back to get drafted by the Bills, man. Had a hell of a career. My favorite Cane of all time right here, man. Unquestionable. Unquestionably my favorite Hurricane of all time. Back when we played Syracuse and the Big East, West Virginia. Look at this, man. This dude was a killer. A killer. My favorite Hurricane of all time, man. Willis Mcgahee. Unforgettable, but not really, right? Not really unforgettable because everybody knows who he is. But I had to be honored, man. You know what I'm saying? Doing a podcast by myself, and it had to be Willis. There was only one guy I was gonna do this on, man. Shout out to Willis Mcgahee, man. What a baller. What an absolute baller. Y'all know the stats, man. Y'all know the history. Y'all know what he did. You know what I'm saying? Number 3 in the Heisman voting in 2001. Thought he should have won it, him or Ken Dorsey. But we're here, man. Shout out to Willis, man. Willis, man, unforgettable Cane, man. Appreciate you, big dog. Killing it. Look at that stride, boy. Look at that stride. Let's go. Hey, guys, thanks so much for checking out the show, man. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, all that, man. Leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. All right, so check it out. To all our new subscribers, every episode, we give out 2 $10 gift cards, and every 100 subscribers, we give out a $25 gift card. So for the winners for this episode, since it's only me, you know what I'm saying, me and my co-host usually pick 1 and 1, the Truth's TH01 on YouTube, man. Yo, shout out to your comments, man. You dropped it twice, so you definitely get a $10 gift card. Make sure to reach out to us at the You Heard Pod on Twitter. Send us your email. Make sure you're registered with Caneswear, and they'll add in a $10 gift card to your checkout, man. All right, man. Thank you guys so much, man. It's that You Heard Podcast, man. We out. Peace.